Well, Charles, nice to have a catch up with you. I think it's the first time we've actually got together since the last ball of the season was kicked. And the good news is, in the last few months, that you've had a season ticket offer on and you surpassed last season's sales already. How positive is that? The fans are showing that they're behind the club and the management team and the players themselves.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's all I hoped. Obviously, you never know until it actually happens, but we're nearly 200 up on last year at this time of the year. And we've seen about the same number, about 200 new season ticket holders. So it's good news. And I can only thank the fans for, what I hoped might happen has happened. And obviously we've still got a way to go because a lot of people leave their season tickets for June and July. So hopefully we'll carry on in the same vein. But what a great start.
You talked about it's still carrying on. I think there's still certain attractive offers on for that particular time. So, you're trying your best to get the supporters here, just before the kick-off time.
Well, Bev and Stuart and Tony, when they put the season ticket plan together, they recognise that not everybody will be able to do it, by the end of May, so to speak. And some people literally want to hold on, and some people are not here. Some people it's not relevant to. So there's a whole, different set of people who buy the season tickets at different times. So yes, it's still ongoing. There's still deals, but, particularly for the kids and the families. So yeah, I hope it will carry on the way it started. That'd be fantastic.
Every season, of course, every football club looks at its finances, and you're no different. The one thing that you've got to do is try and make it happen for the fans to do that, and in doing that, how big a lift is it to everybody that works at the club?
I think it's a great lift. It's a big lift to the directors. This next season is going to be very tough. We know about the cost of living crisis, and that affects the football club the way it affects families and supporters right across the board. Our costs this year. Our electricity costs are like to go by £100,000. Just to name just one. So the amount of support that we'll have to give the club will have to go up. We didn't want to put the season ticket prices up. We don't. But at the end of the day, the club is trying to survive, and we asked the supporters, and they've stood up, and that's fantastic. But it doesn't make the challenge any smaller. But at the end of the day, that's what we're about: is the challenge on the field, the challenge off the field, and that gives all of our players, staff, supporters, directors, a bit of a lift. Because what we're all waiting for now, Graham, start next season.
Yeah, and you talk about match day experience as something that you've brought into the football club that you're trying to improve it every season. And one area that seemed to be going well is your hospitality sort of packages and the offers that you put on, the sponsorship deals that you've got all around the ground. How have you felt that's gone?
Well, I think I said 2 or 3 years ago, probably before COVID now, commercial was something that we could really make an impact on and improve significantly. If you look at a competition, whether it's competition for young players, whether it's competition for older players, whether it's competition for quality of staff, coaches, whatever, when you looked at our commercial offering, it wasn't great. And since Stuart and Tony and Mark and all of the staff with James Beckett and the team have started to get their plans together, it's just got better and better. It's great to see the hospitality full on a Saturday lunchtime. It's great to see some things that are happening around the ground, and it's good to see some things that are happening outside of the ground. It's not perfect. We've got a long way to go, and if you were to talk to those guys in the commercial team, they would tell you that. But it's certainly moving in the right direction, isn't it? And I just think it looks good, and it gives us a warm feeling. It does. And well, you're part of it. People enjoy that sort of pre-half hour before the game and getting ready for it, and it's more akin to what supporters across the piece expect nowadays from a football club.
One big move that's come in the close season is the new EFL deal. I know it doesn't start till after this particular season is finished, but for a club like Crewe, is that a good move that that's been signed and financially it'll help you?
For a club like Crewe, it is it's good news. The deal is in one sense no different than what we've got there. The percentages, the fact that most of it goes to the Championship, and then the League One, and then League Two comes at the end. It hasn't changed. Will it improve our financial situation? It will a bit, but not massively. I mean, it really is marginal. But what's good is that we know we've got a 5-year TV deal coming. Therefore, that element of our funding, our funding for a year is effectively ticket sales, for want of a word, whether it's gate or season ticket, TV and distribution from the EFL, directors, and a commercial. So it means that element of our year-to-year financial requirements will be taken care of and are pretty secure. And in terms of the scale of it, it's fantastic. I mean, it's £1 billion, give or take, over 5 years for the EFL. I mean, relative that there are obviously bigger deals across Europe, but they are for League One, for the Premier League, so to speak. So for us, it's great. I mean, we want to be in League One, don't we? If we're in League One, this is a much better deal, and that's what this club wants, is to get to League One.
Well, you finished the season 13th in the table. There were a few bumpy roads that came across, of course, no doubt about it. It probably does at most football clubs as well. But the management team now that you've got has been together for 6 months. I know they've been together for a long, long time and over a period here at this football club in different roles. But they're together as the management team now. How pleasing is that, and are you seeing progress?
Well, it's like everything, isn't it, Graham? Continuity counts for so much, and Lee took on the job partway through the season. The team hasn't substantially changed, but people like Steve and Joe, the physio and the sports scientists have got their feet better under the table now. Josh Kennard on recruitment is really getting to grips with what our club is and what our club requires, as opposed to any other football club that he might be aware of. And Lee is getting used to managing his management team off the pitch. I mean, I think I've said on a number of occasions, there is nothing you can really teach Lee about coaching and about the game and the game day, but the off-the-field activity is massive. And he's coming on in leaps and bounds, but at the end of the day, he's going to make mistakes, just like we all do, I do. But I'm very pleased with the way it's developed, and it is developing. And at the end of the day, that's probably reflects the way in which we finished the season as well. But, we had some terrible luck in the season. We also had a little bit of fortune as well. The keepers we managed to get in did us fantastic and did us proud. But to go through the season effectively without 2 centre forwards, and I think, the most pleasing thing for me in terms of the management team and what they managed to achieve is they turned a player who was obviously lacking in confidence in Daniel Ajayi and turned him into our top goal scorer. And that's fantastic. You sat and watched all the games, and the back end of last season, January to June last season, he was nervous. He wasn't a goal scorer. That's the work that Lee and Alex and Kenny and Michael Jackson and all the guys down there have done, which gave us the chance when the centre forwards came back to finish the way we did.